A long road ahead, but a channel of communication is now open for the first time in years. These are the words, whispered by an unnamed source to the press, that have sent shockwaves through the very foundations of the British monarchy. This isn't just a rumor, it's a bombshell accompanied by photographic evidence. Leaked images of a secret meeting, a clandestine summit between senior aides representing King Charles III and his estranged son, Prince Harry, have been splashed across the front pages. This was supposed to be the first thaw in a brutal family Cold War that has seen bombshell interviews, tell-all memoirs, and public accusations rock the House of Windsor to its core. Instead of healing, this secret summit has ignited a fresh firestorm of speculation, intrigue, and bitter recrimination. The central question on everyone's lips is no longer just if they can reconcile, but whether this fragile peace operation was deliberately sabotaged before it even truly began. Today, we are pulling back the velvet curtain on this high-stakes royal drama. We will dissect the anatomy of this secret meeting, asking what truly prompted this sudden bid to start afresh after years of scorched earth tactics. We will investigate the devastating leak that threatens to push father and son even further apart, exploring the shadowy motives behind it. And most importantly, we will delve into the deep, complex emotional wounds that lie at the heart of this conflict and reveal the one non-negotiable condition the king may require before ever truly welcoming his son back from the cold. This is a story of power, pain, and the near-impossible pursuit of peace in our time. The story begins with a summit shrouded in secrecy. According to reports, senior aides from both Buckingham Palace and the Sussex camp met last week. These were not just assistants. They were emissaries, diplomats in a family war, tasked with an almost impossible mission. This wasn't a casual chat. It was a deliberate, strategic move, described as a bid to start afresh. Let's not underestimate the significance of this. For years, the communication between the two camps has been almost non-existent, conducted through blistering television interviews with Oprah Winfrey, the pages of Harry's explosive memoir, Spare, and the cold formality of press releases. The silence was deafening, filled only by the echoes of public feuds and private pain. So, the very fact that this meeting happened at all is, as the Times put it, interesting. It signals a recognition from both sides that the ongoing animosity is a losing game, a corrosive force damaging both the family's private relationships and the institution's public image. A source close to the proceedings suggested that both teams recognized that an open communications channel would, in the long run, benefit them all. Think about the logistics, the planning, the sheer will it must have taken to get these two warring factions into the same room. It represents a monumental first step on what everyone agrees will be a very, very long road. The hope was palpable. Could this be it? The moment the ice finally begins to crack? The moment a father and son, separated by an ocean of resentment, finally start speaking the same language again? For a brief, shining moment, it seemed possible. But in the world of the royals, where the cameras are always watching and every whisper is amplified into a roar, secrets are a precious and volatile commodity, and this one was about to explode. The positive effects of this clandestine meeting were, in the words of one commentator, immediately jeopardized by the leak. The Mail on Sunday published the images, shattering the confidential nature of the talks. Immediately, the fragile peace operation was in peril. Prince Harry's team was reportedly blindsided and understood to be frustrated by the publication, vehemently denying they had anything to do with it. The carefully constructed bridge of communication, barely strong enough to stand, was now swaying dangerously in a hurricane of accusation. The focus instantly shifted from reconciliation to recrimination. Instead of discussing a path forward, the two camps were suddenly, and very publicly, bickering over who was to blame for the leak. As New York Magazine wryly noted, having the two sides fighting over their attempt to stop fighting is hardly a good sign. It's a classic palace intrigue plot twist. The very act designed to bring peace has inadvertently sown more discord. This immediate descent into chaos and finger-pointing is a brutal reminder of the deep-seated mistrust that poisons this relationship. It's a messy, tangled web of competing narratives and strategic leaks. If you're finding this royal chess game as compelling and complicated as I am, do me a favor and hit that like button. It lets me know you appreciate these deep dives into the stories behind the headlines. The crucial question now is, who benefits from this leak? Let's explore the theories. Was it a calculated move by someone within the royal establishment? This is a plausible, if cynical, theory. By leaking the meeting, the palace could be seen as controlling the narrative, painting the king as magnanimous and willing to extend an olive branch, thereby putting the onus on Harry to respond gracefully. It's a subtle power play, a way of saying, we are trying, the ball is in your court. Alternatively, could it have come from a source sympathetic to Harry? This seems less likely. The leak makes his team look either complicit or incompetent, jeopardizing the very trust they need to rebuild. It puts them on the defensive and undermines their position. As The Spectator's Alexander Larman points out, while this seems implausible, some of the Sussex's past PR choices have been similarly nonsensical, leaving a cloud of doubt for their critics. The truth is, we may never know for sure, but the damage is done. The incident highlights the fundamental problem, a complete and total breakdown of trust. Without it, any conversation, any meeting, any attempted dialogue is built on sand. To truly understand why this reconciliation is so difficult, why even a simple meeting can devolve into such chaos, we have to look beyond the strategic games and into the heart of the matter, the immense personal pain involved. The animosity isn't just about protocol or press strategy, it's about deep-seated emotional wounds that span decades. Pundits point to what they term Harry's past behavior as a significant hurdle. His public criticisms of the family and the institution in his memoir and interviews have left scars that are not easily healed. For the royal family, an institution that has survived for centuries by maintaining a carefully crafted mystique and a united front, Harry's decision to air the family's dirty laundry in public was the ultimate betrayal. It violated the core unwritten rule of the monarchy's survival guide. Never complain, never explain. This isn't just about hurt feelings, it's about institutional preservation. From their perspective, rebuilding a relationship requires him to acknowledge the damage he has caused to the crown itself. This is why many insiders believe that for a true reconciliation to happen, the king may require an apology from Harry rather than the other way around. This isn't just a father demanding respect, it's a monarch demanding loyalty to the institution he now embodies. It's a fascinating power dynamic. While Harry clearly wants to be welcomed back with open arms, the price of admission might be a level of contrition he is not yet willing to offer. But there is another, more compassionate perspective that cannot be ignored. Writing in the Daily Mail, Sarah Vine argues that it would be the right thing for the family to take in someone who is in as much pain as Harry clearly is. She posits that the Duke is still suffering from complex, deep-seated emotional wounds stemming from the tragic death of his mother, Princess Diana, when he was just a boy. The ghost of Diana looms large over this entire saga. In this view, his actions are not born of malice but of unresolved trauma. The constant hounding by the press, the feeling of being trapped inside a gilded cage, the public scrutiny of his wife, it all echoes the nightmare his mother endured. Vine goes on to suggest that Meghan Markle has reopened or even rubbed salt in those wounds, and helped him turn his back on the very family and structure he once knew. Whether you agree with that assessment or not, it frames the conflict in a different light. It's not just about a disgruntled prince. It's about a man still grappling with a foundational loss. A man who may see his departure as an act of protecting his own family from a fate he couldn't prevent for his mother. From this perspective, bringing the Sussexes in from the cold would be an act of compassion, a way to heal not just a family, but a person. The path to peace is never easy, especially when it's being navigated under the intense glare of the global media spotlight. To make sure you don't miss the next inevitable twist in this royal saga, take a moment to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. So, where does this leave us? Is there any hope left, or was this fragile peace dead on arrival? Despite the bickering and the skepticism, some sources remain cautiously optimistic. People magazine reported that while palace insiders have downplayed the long-term significance of the meeting, painting it as a routine, professional exchange between staff, it's the symbolism that matters. It still means that lines of communication appear to be reopening. A dialogue, however formal and stilted, is now happening where once there was only a wall of silence. This is the first step. It's a shaky, uncertain, and incredibly fraught first step. But it is a step nonetheless. The journey ahead is a marathon, not a sprint. It will require immense patience, a willingness to forgive past grievances, and, most importantly, the ability to build a new foundation of trust brick by brick. This means no more surprise memoirs, no more unapproved interviews, and an end to the strategic leaks from all sides. For now, we are left in a state of suspense. We have witnessed a secret summit, an immediate betrayal, and a glimpse into the profound personal pain that fuels this family feud. The two camps stand at a crossroads. They can allow this leak to derail the entire process, retreating to their respective corners and letting the bitterness fester for years to come. Or they can see it as the first major test of their newfound commitment to dialogue, a hurdle to be overcome on the long road to healing. Will they find a way to move past this latest drama and continue the sensitive talks? Or will the animosity prove too great, the wounds too deep, and the mistrust too pervasive? The phrase, peace in our time, is famously associated with a failed attempt to prevent a world war. The hope now is that, for the House of Windsor, this time, the outcome will be different. The great irony, and perhaps the great tragedy, is that the very public stage on which this family must attempt to reconcile is the same stage that caused so many of their wounds in the first place.